Fight man in boxing, led the Flair Cops. Shout out to Goodfellas Sports TV.
All right, man, before the video, man, I had to revise it. I didn't feel like recutting it and doing it again, so I'm going to add this part. So I got a call that one of the reasons that Adrien Broner, it sounds like it is the main reason, this is alleged, it's a rumor, was that Adrien Broner came in 7 pounds overweight. He was 7 pounds off the weight, and he didn't want to cut down any more weight. So allegedly, he said basically that they said that he didn't want to cut down to get down to the weight. You know, and that most people speculated that was that, and it was what it was. And if you put one and one together, that's why Lipius was added to the card a couple weeks ago, because, you know, Adrien Broner probably started telling them like, hey, I can't get down on this weight. So they already knew what the deal was. Right? They already knew what the deal was. So that's why Lipius was magically added to the card. Now, while some media made a comment on Twitter before it came that Lipius was the replacement, it said he wanted to see Brandon Lee as the replacement. And I would have liked that too, but I just think Brandon Lee being a young fighter, they didn't want to move up in weight, even versus Omar Figueroa. So we could have fight dangerous, got a lot of potential. So I think that's what it was. But that's why Lipius was added to the fight. And that's why people like Rick Glazer were saying it's a scam again. And I'm speaking on that in the upcoming video. You'll hear that. And it might have been. So, but who going to hold Al Haymon accountable? Nobody. Class action lawsuit, everybody get $10? No. But, you know, apparently it was simply that Adrien Broner, one of the reasons was he was 7 pounds overweight. It's the word on the street. Not saying that's the only factor thing that go into it. Also, it was alleged, you see in the video, that they put a gag order on Adrien Broner. So I guess he been speaking on Al's name too much. So, I mean, when you sign that slave deal, you pass up on that type of money for Rock Nation. It is what it is. But Al did deliver the Pacquiao fight. But hopefully you girls and guys enjoy the video. However, I'm able to insert this is going to be before the video. So enjoy the video. A lot of other good information in it about the fight. Peace. Hey man, let's talk about Adrien Broner. Adrien the problem Broner. So something about Jeezy, you got a problem on your hands. Alright, this is all the way turning. That happened, but and my car cooled down for a minute, bro. But he pulled out the fight, the week of the fight. A lot of people, Rick Glazer said, a lot of people believe it's foul play involved by Al Haymon. There's a lot of people speculate that it was foul play with the Errol Spence fight. Alright? Where they were saying you know, they knew about Errol Spence and Pacquiao, and they used Errol Spence to sell tickets knowing that the fight wasn't going to happen. And this, that, and the third, alright? And that's why Al didn't want to give people their tickets back and all that type of stuff. And it's all speculation. And who gonna do something to Al Haymon other than the class action lawsuit where everybody get $10? And you know what I'm saying? For some tickets. You're gonna be in South Florida. Enjoy it. You know, it's still a great main event with Sergey Lipiets. Alright? It's still a great main event. I think maybe more action-packed. Lipiets gonna throw a lot of punches. Figueroa gonna throw a lot of punches. Lipiets a hell of a puncher. Figueroa, hell of a puncher when his hands is good. But, you know, you hear different reasons about Adrien Broner, why he pulled out. They saying that PBC put a gag order on him where he couldn't say what he wanted to say. You know, I guess, you know, he was spilling the beans on Al Haymon, how they pay, you know, and all this type of stuff, and how Al still owned Pacquiao checks, and whatever situation may be, how he left it, you know, he can't say what he want to say. And legally, the contract that he signed probably legally binds him to do what the hell Al Haymon says do. So, I mean, how you can say it's a free country, free whatever. Well, when you give up your amendment to free speech through a contract, you can't say nothing. Simple as that. You can't say nothing. So if it was the gag order, some people say, oh, he was overweight, which just seemed like the most logical, potent point. He walking away from a payday, you know, when you need money. You said you was broke. He may not be like on my knuckles broke like a regular person on their knuckles don't know where their next meal coming from. When people say Al Haymon got him on the allowance and this, that, and the third. What else I hear? Him and Al Haymon beefing. And Al, Adrien Broner want to be more active. He want to fight 3 times a year. Him and Al Heyman got some type of beef, and obviously that's a natural progression when you out here telling the secrets. Remember Earl Spence was telling the secrets of how they get paid and stuff, but Top Rank do the same thing. They do the same thing. They report Tyson Fury versus Tom Swords, whatever his name was getting $3-4 million. But he really was taking home $14 million. So it ain't just something that, they just doing, you know what I'm saying? Now the back end money and the 2 other checks that come with that, the increments and the Cash App or the wire they getting over 10 increments, hey. That's their business. They get, wired once a month like Adrien Broner, who goes to Centennial saying they hate it, getting their money like that. Al Heyman allegedly reinvesting their money and they not getting any profits on it. But you got to understand, anytime somebody holds your money, it got to be a profit in there for you. The bank don't let you borrow money, and it ain't no profit. Sorry. It's got to be a profit in it for you. It's got to be a profit. Like it or not. All right? There's got to be a profit. So, it is what it is. So, but it's a number of different reasons. But ultimately, one thing we do know, he ain't fighting Saturday. And that takes away a lot of cachet Saturday. Usyk and AJ is a global, worldwide, more of overseas event. This was an American event. If you had to ask anybody to cancel a fight, it would have been a Top Rank card. But Lippy S is gonna step in. He throw a lot of punches. He punch hard. Omar throw a lot. That's a good matchup. Loser probably should retire, to be honest. The loser should retire. If we being quite honest, the loser should retire. Straight up and down, just like that. You know what I'm saying? But whatever it is, Adrien Broner might be done. A lot of people say, well, he didn't reach his potential, or focus A, B, all that opportunity. He grown ass man. He a grown ass man. He knew what he needed to do. Niggas know how to have tunnel vision. He made it this far. If money changed him, or some punani changed him, or a lifestyle changed him, he wanted to be a rapper. He wanted to live a rapper lifestyle, and that don't go hand in hand with an athlete's lifestyle. Eventually, that's gonna catch up with you. And if it was the way we had to cut all this weight to make weight and all that type of stuff, Al Heyman didn't keep you healthy. You didn't keep you active, and that's why you gained the weight and you couldn't stay in shape and all that stuff. Guess what? Shouldn't have signed with Al Heyman. People say, well, I knew he really wanted to take the Rock Nation deal and this, that, and the third. Of course he did. Of course he did. Of course. That's an actual fact. Of course he did. Of course. But that ain't what happened. That's what we can say. When you sign the Al Heyman, you sign your life. People say, well, Danny Jacobs left. He had no use for Danny Jacobs. Even though Danny Jacobs still with him, Jesse Vargas, he didn't have no use for Jesse Vargas. He couldn't justify, Danny Jacobs turning down that amount of money in the Canelo payday to stay with PBC. Who middleweight he really had? Jamal Charlo, he wasn't trying to make that fight. Canelo wasn't coming to PBC for Danny Jacobs. Danny Jacobs is not of the same tier of importance to PBC as a Keith Thurman, a Danny Garcia, Errol Spence, Deontay Wilder. Of course, he's not. If that's the case, then Deontay Wilder would have been allowed to walk to the zone. He would have been allowed to walk to the zone. Just being honest. But guess what? That ain't the case. That's not the case. But it is what it is. Boxing don't need Adrien Broner. What we need is the PBC, Top Rank, the Zone, Kathy Duva, and everybody else involved to make the best fights possible for the sanity of boxing fans and for the betterment of boxing fans. And when UFC overcame that John Jones, Ronda Rousey, Conor McGregor little skid they had, and they overcame that and they survived that, they became more dangerous. They showed that UFC here to stay. And obviously boxing going to be around because it's grandfathered in as a sport for other athletes who can't hack it, too short, too small, not strong enough, don't like team sports, can't hoop, can't score, can't kick, whatever, can't shoot a layup, whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's always going to be a sport for athletes who can't hack it in another sport. It's always going to be at least a backup sport. Guys that blew out their leg like Seth Mitchell in football found a second life in boxing. So it's forever at least going to be that. It's at least forever going to be that. So they're always going to have participants. But the reason why the participation won't be as high is because of the politics in boxing. Especially when you black or you a nationality like Turkish or Armenian, or you in the Indian Middle East where they ain't as popular, where it ain't as as popular, something like that, or ain't as fashionable, whatever situation may be. They're always looking for the next Hispanic superstar. Always. They don't want no more black people participating in boxing. Just as they don't want black people participating in baseball. Because if they did, and they really wanted to grow the sport of baseball, and they wanted to grow the sport of boxing, you know where to go. To the brothers. What's the best way to get the youth or the urban youth to be involved in baseball? What's the best way to modernize it? Well, get them to fucking participate. And they failed at that. So they don't want dudes, man. They don't, man. Boxing want it to be an all Mexican, all Latino sport with a dash of British fighters and white people. That's what they want. Al Heyman showed you the best. Y'all can debate about Al Heyman. Al Heyman you want to. The Latino green come first and Latino dollar come second. He no different than Bob Arum. And if you think he ain't getting the most money out of everybody, you smoking crack. Him and Broner really beefing, they beefing. I can tell y'all right with him and Floyd beefing, but you ain't gonna believe me what I'm saying, no way. So it ain't even no point. Maybe I'll do a video for the members or whatever, for the membership. I can tell you why they beefing. And you won't believe me if I told y'all anyway. It's something that's the furthest thing. It ain't woman, it ain't a chick. It's something involved in boxing, but it is what it is. And if you walk away, like I said before, a lot of potential was missed. So it is what it is. A lot of potential was missed there. Lipius Figueroa, solid fight. No, I won't do a prediction on it. Check out the Boxing News playlist. Thumbs up the video. Check out the Box Rumor playlist. Share the video. Subscribe to the channel. The subscribe button. It's the bell icon button. Hit all notifications. Increase your chance of notifications. We go live, drop video. Finance, you want to support the channel. Cash App, $CJ Good 313. Venmo CJ Good 313. PayPal link description. Hit the link tree. Follow me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music. We everywhere, man. Follow me on Twitter. Appreciate that. Support the channel. Shout out to Reggie Singleton, Mr. Ward yesterday for donating Cash App. Cash App, $CJ Good 313. Venmo CJ Good 313. PayPal link description. Appreciate the love, support. One time for the one time. Goodfella TV. Peace.